you should contemplate on this topic and honestly try to think about it. We all create boundaries for ourselves and for others. Now, these boundaries are, when they're created, they cause conflict. If somebody goes out of this boundary limit, there's a conflict, there's a struggle, there's a issue, relationship issue or whatever issue. Now, what I mean by boundaries, I'll tell you. Most often we are stuck with our own boundaries we create for ourselves. Now, when I do this process called Connect with the Divine, there are a lot of people have boundaries. Oh, which divine should I connect with? I believe in this one, I don't believe in a living God, I don't do this, I that, I believe in this religion, I believe in that religion. So many boundaries. And these boundaries are just created by you. No divine has asked you to do these boundaries. Divinity doesn't ask you, divinity doesn't need all these kind of things. So the boundaries are just created by you. Another example I'll give you. I know of a place where these girls are trained whatever as nurses, bedtime nurses or whatever those nurses, and they are not in Bombay, okay? They have been trained and they want a job somewhere. Now the job was offered to them, but it was not in that same place that they were trained and where they live. The job was somewhere else, and they were getting a very fancy amount for that, okay? A good amount for that class of people and for the job that they were giving. They said, no, we don't want to move out from here. We don't want to get out of their own comfort zone or whatever. They didn't accept the job. Now this is a boundary again you're connecting to yourself. Now what is happening is, in this giving and receiving thing, you may be giving love, giving money, giving this to so many other things, but you also got to be a receiver. When such things happen, then you blame God. Oh, why is God not giving me job opportunities? Why am I not getting the money? It is given to you, but your boundaries have refused it. How you will receive is not your choice. If you want to receive something from the universe, you can't tell the universe, no, you come only from this door and give it to me. Don't come from this window because I never opened that window. You can't do that. So these are the boundaries that you yourself create for yourself, and then you complain. You have no business to do that. Similarly in relationships, especially in a husband-wife relationships, these are unspoken boundaries that are created by the wife to the husband and the husband to the wife, which both of them are not aware of, but the boundaries are there. So if any person steps out of that boundary line, you will say, how can you do something like this? You're a woman, you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. I don't agree with this, I'm just telling you. So there is no freedom given to that other person. So the wife will say, what do you mean I'm not supposed to do this? Why not? Correct? So even with children, the amount of boundaries that are created. So if you lead a boundaryless life, you will be much happier. Now what my master Dadashi keeps on saying this, that we need not just to step out of these kind of boundaries by human beings, but step out of boundaries created by society, step out of boundaries created by religion. With religion also, there is so much of a rift between you and me, because you belong to this religion, I belong to that religion. So much of a boundary. So I will not do something what you do, I'm sorry, but that is not in my religion. You're separating yourself from one human being to another human being by these boundaries, and the divine has not created them. You have. Religion is man-made. So you have created these boundaries. So let us, if you want to lead a very happy life and a free life, we need to get out of these boundaries created by you as you as a person, family, society, and going to the larger picture is boundaries created by this state to that state, that world to this world. Let's have a boundary-free life. So let's begin with ourselves. Ask yourself, how many boundaries have you put on yourself, because of which certain things that you want in life are not happening? Think. We put a lot of boundaries and a lot of restrictions on the things that we want to receive in life, and you do not receive just because of your own boundaries that you have created. So, with being a good giver, you got to be a good receiver. I've always said this in my videos, be a good receiver. Whatever comes, take and accept it and acknowledge it. You don't know from where this windfall will come. So be a good receiver. Stop being so bound by everything. You will yourself feel free. This is like being caged up. And because of your own self, because of your own mind. So we need to step out of this boundary line and lead a little bit of a free life. Accept everybody. Not because of you belong to another religion and I belong to another caste, so I'm sorry, I'm not going to associate with you or not going to get married to you because you're not from my caste. We are all human beings after all. So let us not create so many boundaries for ourselves. We ourselves are only suffering. The suffering is between us only, between one human being to another human being. This is another word for a change. This is another word for a transformation. We have to grow, transform. Don't see things in a kind of a caged view. Don't have a caged view about things. Life is not caged. Life is freedom. Life is free. You yourself will feel your breathing. Wow, I'm feeling so good. When you're physically kept in one space, in one room, like with this corona thing, everybody was in quarantine. When you have a corona, if you have a corona patient, the person is quarantined. Sometimes the hospitals or sometimes at home, you're quarantined. You are just in that one room. You're caged. How frustrating was it? How frustrating is it? Those of you who have probably gone through this, it's very frustrating. Though you may have a big house, maybe you have a big room, all the comforts are there, the TV is there, this is there, that is there. Yes, still, that you are not allowed to step out of the house for 14 days is so frustrating. So nobody likes to have boundaries. So why are we creating mental boundaries also around us? Don't you want to be free of that? So just break those boundaries. Just break those boundaries. Accept everyone. Love everyone. Connect to everyone. We are all human beings at the end of the day. And talking of COVID has taught us a very big lesson. I don't know how many of you have realized, but COVID has been a spiritual virus. Honestly, if you understand the spiritual side of why this virus happened, there's a huge shift in lot of humanity. Huge shift for the good. There are some still who are stuck, but that is going to happen. That is the balance of life. But there's a huge shift in a lot of humanity. People have become more caring. People have become more understanding. People have become more helpful. That has happened. So Corona was a very big lesson. Coming back to boundaries, let's not have any boundaries. Think about your own boundaries which you have created for yourself and how you are suffering because of that. How your growth is feeling restricted because of that. I don't want to go there and work. I don't want to get married anywhere outside India. I'm not going to go beyond Mumbai. I'm going to stay in Mumbai. Even if my education and all, I'm going to be in Mumbai, my education. I'm not going far to educate myself. So many boundaries. So who's the loser at the end of it? You lose opportunities. You are the loser because you've created boundaries and you will not take steps. First start with yourself. Then you go beyond yourself to your family, to your relationships, the boundaries you have created for them. In your head, probably the person doesn't even know that these are the boundaries you're expecting. Right? So now, boundaries, remember, cause conflict. Boundaries cause friction. Boundaries will cause relationship problems. So if you want freedom, let go of the boundaries. And whatever the boundaries are, if you want to have boundaries, maybe in a relationship, in a husband-wife relationship, speak it out. As a husband, I expect this out of you, please, if it's okay with you. As a wife, I expect this out of you. Don't have them in your mind because the other person doesn't know what you're thinking about. If it's just in your mind, which is never spoken. Okay? So this is a good homework for you to do. First start with yourself. Ask yourself and release yourself of those boundaries. There are opportunities galore outside. Don't miss them because of these silly boundaries that you have created in your mind about it. Okay? Thank you very much. Anything you want to talk about this or say about this? In the comment box, you can always connect with me at any time. I'm on all social media platforms. You can go to my website also. I have lots to offer. If you want to take the help, I'm always ready to help you. Thank you very much. Bye.